You're a surgeon. 10 years of medical school, residency shifts that turned your brain into mush, and a mountain of debt that makes your student loans look like a second mortgage on hell itself. You did everything right. You saved lives, stitched up traumas, pulled people back from the edge. And what do you get? A paycheck that barely covers your malpractice insurance and an ex-wife who took half of what little you had left. You're 42 years old, staring at a future where retirement is a fairy tale and your idea of a vacation is an extra shift in the ER. The system chewed you up, and now it's spitting you out in slow motion. But today, everything changes. You're in the surgeon's lounge, halfway through a cup of coffee that tastes like burnt regret, when your phone buzzes. Unknown number. Normally you'd ignore it, but something makes you answer. The voice on the other end is smooth, professional, and gets straight to business. He says he represents certain clients with specific medical needs that can't be met through traditional channels. He mentions a figure. Not for a consultation, for a single procedure. The number has more zeros than your annual salary. You should hang up, you should report this. But your brain is already doing the math. One procedure, one. You could pay off your debt, buy back some semblance of a life, maybe even sleep without the crushing weight of financial ruin pressing on your chest. You tell him you'll think about it. He says you have 24 hours. That night, you don't sleep. You pace your tiny apartment, looking at the walls closing in. You think about the Hippocratic Oath about doing no harm. Then you think about the hospital administrator who denied your raise while buying his third vacation home. You think about the insurance companies that dictate your every move. You think about dying broken. When you call back, your voice is steady. You say yes. The instructions are simple. A private clinic, cash payment, no questions. You'll be performing a kidney transplant. The donor is already prepped and consenting, or so they tell you. You show up at an address that looks more like a luxury spa than a medical facility. Everything is pristine. State-of-the-art equipment that makes your hospital look like a Civil War field tent. A nurse hands you scrubs. You notice she won't make eye contact. The procedure itself is routine. You've done hundreds of these. Your hands move with practiced precision, muscle memory taking over while your conscience screams in the background. The donor is unconscious, vitals stable. The recipient is wheeled in, desperate hope in their sedated eyes. You don't ask questions. You don't want answers. 3 hours later, it's done. Both patients are stable. You peel off your gloves, and a man in an expensive suit hands you an envelope. You feel the weight of it. He tells you that you did excellent work. He says they'll be in touch. You'll walk out of there with more money than you've made in 6 months of legitimate surgery. The envelope burns in your jacket pocket like radioactive guilt. For 2 weeks, you try to pretend it didn't happen. You go back to your regular shifts, save the patients you can, lose the ones you can't. You deposit the cash in small increments. You pay off one credit card, then another. The relief is intoxicating. Then your phone rings again. This time, they need you for something more complex, a liver transplant. The money is double. You hesitate for exactly 5 seconds before agreeing. The second procedure is easier than the first. Not technically, medically, it's far more demanding. But emotionally, you've already crossed the line. Going back feels impossible. Moving forward is just momentum. Over the next year, you become their go-to surgeon. You're not performing back-alley butcher jobs. These are legitimate procedures with proper equipment and post-op care. You tell yourself that makes it different. You tell yourself the donors are consenting. You tell yourself the recipients would die without you. The money piles up. You move to a better apartment. You buy a car that doesn't sound like it's coughing up its transmission. You start sleeping through the night again. Almost. Your colleague at the hospital, Dr. Martinez, notices you've been different. Less stressed. New watch. She jokes that you must have a rich girlfriend. You laugh it off, but her observation rattles you. You're getting comfortable. Comfort breeds carelessness. The jobs keep coming. Kidneys, livers, corneas. Once, a heart. That one keeps you up for 3 days straight afterward. You prescribed yourself sleeping pills just to function.